I'm very honored to introduce to you maybe one of the finest French people you will ever meet. He's gentil, like they say in French. He's an amazing bartender, has one of the best bars in the world, who was nominated yesterday as one of the 5 for Best European Bar. The man that can stir like 120 martinis in 45 seconds. Please give a big round of applause for Mr. Remy from Little Red Door in Paris.
I think I'm good. Yeah. Bonjour. Can you guys hear me? Thank you. Okay, well, thank you everyone for waking up, coming here. I know it was hard. I know it was hard for me. Cool. If we can have, there you go. Beautiful. So today I'm going to talk. Basically, it's called Behind Little Red Door, and it's that simple. I'm going to talk about the bar I work at. I'm also going to talk about the research we do. Oh, hi. The research we do. So the research, I guess, we did for the current menu, as well as the research we are doing for the next one. So, Little Red Door. I'm going to do all the boring stuff first, the stuff you don't want to hear. So Little Red Door opened in 2012. It's a small cocktail bar in Paris. It's in Le Marais. You guys know Le Marais, maybe? It's the very artistic neighborhood in Paris. And it started with a quote, and it's a quote from Friedrich Nietzsche, who's born not really far from here in Austria, a very famous philosopher. And on his notes, he always had little sides where he wrote poems. And one of his quotes was, "Behind every little red door hides a wonderful world." Isn't it pretty? So yeah, behind Little Red Door, boom. No, lies a wonderland, because I'm not really good at typing. So this is it. This is the view you see from the street. It's been called a speakeasy before, but again, call it whatever you want. It's just a bar. The idea was to have a clear, I guess, distanciation from the outside world, from the bar. So this is the room. This is the room. More boring stuff. I think we can seat about probably 45 people. There's no standing policy. You can still stand, but in some kind of an arranged way. You have very comfortable chairs at the bar. Has anyone been to Little Red Door? Good. Was it okay? Okay, I know, I'm sorry. The bar is, it's a bar, it's very simple. It's 2 mirror stations. Everyone at Little Red Door only has one job, but I'll get into that later. 2 mirror stations, we serve about maybe 400 drinks a night. On a good night, maybe 200 on a slower one. Yeah, 2 bartenders, there's no dispense station. It's only just a bar. I like that. The team. I like that picture, because it looks like we're posing, but we weren't. So the team. So this is me on the far left. You have Sexy Max after that, Kayla, Emilio, Jeremy, and Rory. The idea behind the team at Little Red Door and the fact that we are working with these people, everyone comes from, I think everyone actually comes from a different country on that picture. So it's quite multicultural to an extent. Everyone as well has very different background. And I'm not going to talk about how to build a team today, but the idea is, yeah, to just have a balance in terms of strengths and weaknesses, and I'm really happy to work with the people I do. More pictures of the team. What can I say? At Little Red Door, on your first day, you get 2 things. You get a sexy apron, or a really stupid apron. You get the keys to the bar, and the first shift you do the till, because it's very important from the second you start that you are, I guess, more than part of the bar. Everyone only does the same thing, so there's no kind of hierarchy in the way the system works. There's no bar backs, there's no chefs. Everyone does everything. So one night I might be, bar backing, just downstairs cutting some ice, making food, trying to do a bit everything. So there, I'm going to talk about just the way it changed. Little Red Door changed quite significantly about a year and a half ago, when we were given the opportunity to do something a bit different. And it all started with, sorry. I've been told for a good presentation, you need a picture of a cat, so you have a cat. There you go. we decided to change drastically the way we were doing things, as in try to do stuff we actually wanted to do for, I guess, in our personal life, try to apply it to the bar experience. So myself, I studied philosophy for 5 years. I was very bad at it, but I always enjoyed it. And the idea was to try and do a menu to create an experience that would link, I guess, the fact that we are based on a French accent, sorry, philosopher's quote, as well as the fact that we serve guests. So this is our menu. It's called the Evocative menu. Has anyone seen it? It's very pretty. OK, maybe I'll pass one around. Sir, if you want to just pass it around. Thank you very much. Yes, so the idea with this was to, well, the idea with this was just to create something a bit more. So we're looking to, I don't really know what to say. We're just bored. And you know, when you're bored and you're given the chance to do something, the starting point, it all started with a question. And the question is the evocative power of flavor universal? So if you were to try something, and if I was to try something, would it have the same emotional impact? Or would it trigger the same emotional response? Which I think is an absolutely fascinating question. But the big question he raised was transmissibility. So the way we look at, the way we order, the way we just see flavors. So, you know, no one understands cocktail menu, and that is the most important thing. None of our guests, I think none of yours, understand anything we write down on cocktail menus. So you might see, you know, pineapple syrup. You understand pineapple, but the essence of pineapple, or whatever you see as pineapple, is only the sum of every single time you had pineapple. But, you know, is it roasted? Is it Colombian pineapple? Is it Costa Rican pineapple? Is it Victorian pineapple? Is it salted? What's the ratio of sugar to water? Words were, by essence, very limiting. And this is a big question in the work done in semantics, is, you know, how limiting words are, but at the same time, there's no alternative until whatever we try to do. So this is it, basically. Can we transmit flavors without words? And it's such a fascinating question, because the point is, like, no one has done this, I don't think. And as well, no one really researched it. Every single menu you see, whether you go to the coffee shop, whether you go to McDonald's, it's very simple. It's burger, you have meat, salad, tomato, and again, you associate all this flavor with previous experiences, as well as experience you project yourself into. So can we transmit flavor without words? So what we've done is we try to transmit flavor through art. So we did 11 cocktails, and all of these cocktails, we asked different artists from completely different fields to try a drink and do something. And the instruction was super simple. You try a drink, and you just do something. So there was no wrong answer. The big question he raised was, can you associate visual with flavor? I don't know, it's a question for you guys. Can you associate visuals with flavor? Does it make sense? So a lot of people said no, and my boss originally said no. And then I showed him this picture. And I thought it was really cool. You have two different drawings. If I ask you which one is bitter and which one is sweet, do you guys have any answers? The right is bitter. Oh, very good. Good. Well, thank you. Good. I'll give you the... exactly. 95% of the people say the right-hand side is bitter. 5% of the people say the left-hand side is bitter. For some reason, and I don't know if it's either, you know, cultural determinism, if it's just the way we perceive flavors, we're going to associate certain structures of visual with certain flavors. And this, as a starting point for the menu, I thought was the coolest thing. So again, this is a menu. There's one, I think, going around. There you go. I have a bad copy here that took the water. But yeah, this is the menu. What it also means is when we speak to guests, this is the thing we work with, and it became such a big part of the experience at Little Red Door that we have to take at least maybe 45 seconds every single time, explain the concept, and it's always the same, is hello, even on a busy Saturday night, hello, this is a cocktail menu, let me tell you a little bit about it. We try to do a menu with no words, and as well we try to see if there's any transmissibility beyond words. So we ask 11 different artists to blind taste 11 different cocktails and do a visual representation. So you have something like this, and this is a cocktail, and this is a cocktail, etc., etc. Each page. And the idea is we invite people either to choose based on the relationship they create with the picture, or if they were to want to, they can pull the little tab and the ingredients are behind. Does that make sense? Yeah, cool. I think you guys are about to get a drink. I'll just check with my boss, sorry. Hey, beautiful. So I'm going to make a drink for you now, and I think you're about to taste it. This particular drink is one of my favorite on the menu. It's the number 9. None of the drinks have names as well, because again, yeah, thank you, Sarah, thank you. So this is this drink. The reason why I particularly like that drink is it's the only drink on the menu that is not done by someone that works into the visual arts. So it's called Chris. He's a musician from Belfast. He's a very good friend of mine. He's my international babysitter ambassador. And that's very cool, because it's something that you fight for. Because of course you work with sponsors, of course you work with people that want to promote the bar in a certain way. But this particular picture is the exact idea. The picture doesn't have to be good. It doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be something you visually enjoy. It just has to transmit flavor. And I think this picture is brilliant. So I'll make a drink for you. I think you can try it. It's going around the room as we speak. Dun, boom, 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 boom. So, well, now you can see what I'm working with, but you shouldn't look. So again, for the guests, the problem it raises are people don't like certain flavors. And we have a lot of absinthe on the menu. We have a lot of gentiane on the menu, so quite bitter flavors. We have about, on average, I'm going to say 5 to 10 drinks coming back to the bar every night saying, I don't like absinthe, or I can't drink this, or it tastes like this and this. But I guess it was part of the game. Bum, bum, bum. I'll make one whole one for me, because I need to wake up. So the drink, everyone is getting their drink? Yes. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Right. So we go from this to this. And again, it's very interesting to see how we have a lot of quite visual drinks, so, big, like extravagant, you'd say, glassware more than garnishes, but some of them are very extravagant, some of them are very, I guess, minimalistic in their approach. And yeah, it's cool. So santé, happy morning, guys. This is a very interesting part of it. Is again, when we started, there was a lot of criticism, mainly from I think mainly from press saying, it's a little bit pretentious and it doesn't make much sense and it's just a bit, not necessary. But what he has done for us is to change the way. So this particular menu, I changed the way our customer order drinks. So on average, people, because of course it's a cocktail bar, it's a bit more expensive than a pub next door. It just changed the way that people used to have one drink at the bar, stay 45 minutes, have one drink, and then go home. With this menu, people went from ordering one drink on average to 2. So that's quite a significant change. He has changed also the money we make, and this is the biggest part. We make more money because of this menu. So even though we take more time to explain it, more time to take drinks back and remake them, we make more money because it means Because of the menu, of course, people talk. We full at 6 o'clock. The bar is full. We open the doors and there's people. Whereas, before with a traditional menu, it was a bit more, I guess, quiet early hours or all of this. So this has been awesome. It also means on a Sunday night, on a Monday night, the bar is kind of full, and this is quite nice. I like a full bar usually. So this was the menu. It took us about, I think, 11 months in the making. But there was that day where we launched the menu, and then it's, what do we do next? And the big thing was also the guests really liked the menu. My boss really likes the menu. But do we keep on the same line? And then again, does it not get a bit frustrating? So what we've done is we pitched something completely different. So I'm talking about the menu we're trying to do after. So we've already been working for about 5 months on it. So since that guy was launched. And at the moment, it's only called the menu after the evocative menu. But we decided to keep that idea of a question. And a good menu should ask a question, I think. And a good bar should also ask a question. We're in a time and a place where if you want to create a unique experience, and maybe that's only applicable to Paris and the fact that maybe the drinker are a bit educated or they're kind to see something different. But I think if you do want to create a unique experience, you have to ask a question. So what was the next question? This is kind of what we're working on. So is what we do, so as bartenders, as waiters, as pot wash, as whatever jobs are, is what we do a reflection of who we are? And I think that's really, really cool. Are we limited by the extent of our knowledge? So basically, if I was to learn something new, how would it influence the way I make drinks? Because my job is to make cocktails, very simply. So we decided to learn something new. So all of us, so the 6 of us in the team, we all signed up to university, and we are at the moment studying architecture. Why are we studying architecture? I don't really know. But I do know. The idea behind architecture was just that none of us had any idea what we were talking about. And again, meaning learning something completely new. Like, is this going to influence the way we work? So actually, I was in the ladies' beautiful, I was in Czech Republic, in Brno, in your beautiful city, and I visited a place called Villa Tigantine. Guys, is that one? Okay. And it was really cool, because I walked into the building for the first time and see that there was a point behind the way the building was made. It's, it's both minimalistic and functional. So it's, a reflection of functionalism, but the intention into making the building was really cool. So the question was, could we transmit that into a flavor experience? So how are we doing it at the moment? At the moment, we don't talk any liquids. So there's no drinks. We don't make drinks at the moment. We just talk about architecture. So twice a week, we have meeting with different architects, and we learn the study of architecture, just to, learn something new. And then how we're going to try and make it happen. The structure of the menu is going to be 12 drinks, so one more drink. Each drink is going to be a different architectural movement. So it's going to go from functionalism, as we said, minimalism, of course. You're going to have brutalism, which I think is a pretty awesome movement. We're going to go to Gothic architecture. We're going to go to biomimetics, so I guess the reflection of nature into architecture. The idea is to try and study a movement and try to get the essence of what architects do. So, a good example is, again, functionalism. It's that sentence, is shapes follows function. So how can we apply this both to the vessel we're using, so the actual glass, the visual, but as well the liquid? So yeah, that's this. Also, we're learning about new ways to work. So I drew this in my hotel room this morning. I hope you like it. This is something really cool. So in architecture, you have something known as dead space. When you build building, you obviously are in an environment. So you're going to have a building next to your building, and it makes sense as a whole. This thing, before at Little Red Door, we used to put glassware on the table. In any way, it's kind of what's easy for us. Now, every single way we put the glass needs to create that positive space, which is only an architectural concept, but all glassware in with each other is going to have to make sense. Does that make any sense? Yeah, a little bit? OK. It's the first presentation of the day. I'm going to make a drink now, which is quite not ready. I'll check with my boss if you get it. Second drink? Thank you. And it's a movement called Deconstructivism. So we looked at, this is not the way it's going to look. This is, at the moment, a 3D print of what we're trying to work with. So the idea was, if you look at any glass ever, so everything you're holding, glassware has been constructed vertically, I guess, building up. The idea was to see if there's a way to create a glass that would be built horizontally, or I guess as a matter of plan. So you wouldn't have something that is built up, but you have something that would just spread out. And then, how could we use this to our advantage? So very much like deconstructivist architecture, the idea is just to forget everything that was made and just think practical in a way that is excessive and breaking the structure. So at the moment, I'm only working with this. It's going to be made out of glass. It's going to be much bigger. This is the functional print. Then what we try to think is if you serve a drink on ice, the drink is going to evolve. But you can only garnish your drink once. Can you actually garnish your drinks in a way that it evolves as you consume it? So we've got 3 little holes, all of different sizes. They're not going to be holes. Again, it's going to be made quite organically. Thank you very much. Thank you. And then there's no clear ice. I was about to show you my cool drilling skills. I got my drill. If we were to build a block of ice and have the dilution work, and then have drill into the block of ice 3 different garnishes, and you were to drink as the cocktail follows, we thought that'd be quite cool. So I'm going to make one for you. This is what you're drinking at the moment. The structure of the drink is very simple. Oh. If you guys have any questions, by the way, I think I've been told there's maybe 5 or 10 minutes afterwards, or if you just want to talk, or if you want to have a coffee, because I need one. So the actual drink itself, very much like deconstructivism, was to, in terms of liquid, work with, by the way, this is a completely unfinished version. It's probably going to be completely different. But was to work with very simple brute material. So in the drink, there's absinthe, and it's blanche. You guys familiar with blanche? It's basically only distilled. There's no maceration in the process. It's vermouth, and it's crème de poire. Super simple, but then it was, how can we do a vermouth that would evolve with time? So we take a blend of dry vermouth. So it's 2 parts Dolan Dry at the moment, 1 part Fino Sherry, which is not a vermouth, and 1 part Absinthe Roux, which is an absinthe-based vermouth. And then we cook it sous vide at a very low temperature with different herbs from the Olympian Mountains in Greece. What it means is you get, maybe you can try a little bit of the vermouth on its own. What you get is something that really evolves well into time. And again, with this particular glassware, it just made sense. So, again, heavy on the vermouth. We're just going to throw it a few times. And then we just pour it in. So this is obviously going to be kept in the freezer. The way it's going to work is the liquid is going to just evolve naturally around. I can't show you because it's going to fall. But you're going to need to have a straw, which I don't have. Again, a block of ice right there. And as you move to the natural evolution of the cocktail, the idea is for you to smell the garnish that is appropriate with what you're drinking. Does that make sense? Is it cool? It's quite cool. I think it's quite cool. I think that's about it. Again, I don't have much time. It's a very short presentation on what we're trying to do. I hope it was in any way interesting to hear. Yeah, basically, for us at LRD, it's just kind of awesome to have a bar filled every day with people that are kind of keen to try it. It doesn't mean it's going to work everywhere, but we're very happy to, again, try to explore new stuff in a way that is very approachable to the guests because they pay my rent and I guess all of ours. So thank you very much. I think Ben is going to walk around there with a mic if there's any questions whatsoever on anything.
Raise your hand. Will you please introduce yourself to us and then your question?
Hello, my name is Katrina Murphy.
Hi,
I wanted
Katrina.
to know when you did the evocative menu, did you select which artist tasted which cocktail? And if so, how did you decide?
Absolutely. We decided to only work with people that, for the evocative menu, so the one that is going in the room. By the way, feel free to steal it because everyone does in my bar. When we only work with people that, in terms of flavor, really clash with their style. So if you take a look, for example, to the drink number 10, it's this one. This is one of the drinks that is the most ordered at the bar because visually, it's pretty. It's a pretty drink. It's basically a twist on a dry martini. So it's just gin cooked with oyster leaves, sous vide. So it's very, very spirit forward, and there's a bit of green flint as well. So the texture is quite special. But what that artist did really clashed, I guess, with the type of drink. This is quite the first one you try. It's quite a light aperitif, I guess, bitter style drink. All of them are quite different, yeah. So we picked them intentionally. We picked originally about maybe 25 artists. Some of them we didn't like at all. Just the way, I think that the concept was quite weird for them because they thought they were supposed to draw the glass or to draw, a picture of, the garnish or something. So yeah, we only kept the ones that really understood what was supposed to be done. But again, there was no wrong answer. Some of them are not pretty picture, but they just work because they are the flavor, visually the flavor. Anyway.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Hi, morning. Keshav from Mumbai. The question is, you're trying very interesting things in your bar, I'm sure, when planning the menu. There is the economics of making a bar profitable.
Yeah.
So if you can share, the balance between how much creativity goes on, the price of cocktail, I'm sure there is competition.
To me,
and
yeah, of course, sorry. So the drinks at Le Labrador are they're similar Paris price. So if you go to any cocktail bar in Paris, at Le Labrador, it's just the same. So it's between 12 to 16 euros on a menu.
And within this bracket, you're trying to deliver something unique, something new, and ingredients that are very expensive. So how's the balance? Is it a pressure on you?
To be honest, it's the best thing about Le Labrador for me is that I don't own it. So I've got no financial interest into Le Labrador. And it means I don't have to think about money. We're allowed to do all the stuff we want to do. And I don't want to say it's a completely altruistic project, because it's not. Of course, it's a business and it's supposed to make money. But now that we're making enough money to open a second bar that will make more money, or open a restaurant. We're opening a restaurant at the moment that hopefully will make money. But as long as we do the idea, we're not. My bosses are not greedy with what they do, and they're kind of really proud of working in an environment that is, I guess, creative. So it's not. The money part is obviously very important because it's the reason why we have the business. But for us and for me personally, it's not something I have to think about, and it makes me very happy. Thanks. I hope that answers your question.
One more question? Yeah. One more question.
Yeah, I don't have a straw.
Hi, Remy. Tom Ekra from Warsaw. How often do you change the menu, and how long does it take you to actually get a menu done?
We changed the menu. We changed the menu 5 months ago, and originally we were looking at March to release this one. The truth is, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. We're going to do it when it's ready. With no, again, this menu. The only problem with this menu is it disappears. It's quite an expensive menu, and people steal it a lot, and mainly industry. So we had 400 copy made. I think during Paris Cocktails and Spirit, probably 100 disappear. Only industry. So with this menu, basically, as long as we have it, we can use it. And for the next menu, we'll do it when it's ready. There's no time imperative. We've not been, I guess, chasing, chasing anything. It should literally be ready when it's ready. But I think we're looking at 11 months from the idea to the actual menu, glassware, garnish, ready to serve it at the bar. We're looking at, 11 months, maybe a year. And it's quite interesting because it's only 11 drinks and there's 6 of us. And you would think that as a creative bartender, someone in my team would come up and say, I want to make more drinks. But, there's 1 or 2 drinks per person, and it takes so much work to go from an idea to a flavor that then it's actually, a year is enough to make 1 drink if you really want to make it right. Again, I hope that answers your question, Tom Ekman. Any more questions? No one? Then merci beaucoup. Thank you very much, guys.